Hi! I am doing a video today on Unit 5, which I feel like is one of the most fun units in IEW. Unit 5 is writing from pictures. The kids always have a great time with this, and the more creative that you allow them to be, the more enjoyable the experience is. So writing from pictures is different than the units that we've had so far because it is the first time we don't have a source text. This time what we have is pictures, and you can do this with provided pictures. You can do this with any picture, honestly. So with IEW, we do 3 pictures. So this is an example in my, I think this is from the teacher book, but there's 3 pictures, and you can kind of tell what order they come in. And the students are gonna come up with a story to go with these pictures. Sometimes the students are like, I don't want to do that, I'm not creative. And we're going to teach your students how to be creative. You're going to teach your students how to be creative, which is super fun. And like I said, it's always an enjoyable class to listen to the kids read these stories that they came up with just a little bit of motivation from these pictures. So the keyword outline is slightly different once again with writing from pictures. With writing from pictures, the first line is called the central fact. Here's a hint. The central fact is basically just the topic sentence. It's telling us what is happening in the picture. It's not any longer maybe the whole what the whole paragraph's about, but it is telling us what's happening in the picture. Then you move on to giving details that kind of tell again about the central facts. And then we have a clincher once again that reflects 2 to 3 words from the central fact or topic sentence. As your student is looking at these 3 paragraphs, or 3 pictures that they're going to make 3 paragraphs from, they can use some of these questions to come up with ideas. So you can say, who is in the picture? What are they thinking? What do they feel? Why are they doing that? Or why are they feeling that or thinking that? What happened before this picture? In our example of the bird, perhaps the bird landed on the ground because he saw something that he thought looked like a snake. Or maybe he saw some bird feed and he landed to eat that and then got distracted. It can be all kinds of things. So then outside the picture is like, while he's checking out this garden hose, his mommy bird is wondering where he is. And then we have where are they? What's happening? Why are they there? And that can be anywhere from in the yard, they can be in Ohio, it can be in the zoo, it can be all kinds of answers for where. What were they saying? What did the person or character do? How did they do it? What happened after this picture? Or is there anything hidden that we don't see? Like maybe below this snake is an actual snake, or maybe there's wind blowing that's making the garden hose kind of move around and look like a snake. So there's all kinds of things that the students can come up with. Here is the thing that is sometimes hard for parents is we look at this picture as adults and we think there's a bird, there's a garden hose, he's pecking it. He broke it open, water squirted out, and he left because he didn't like the water squirting out. Students, especially sometimes ones with wild imaginations, might look at that and say this is an alien bird, and he's not investigating the snake-like hose, he is taking it captive. There is all kinds of things that they come up with. Allow them to do either option, to take this picture literally or to have literary freedom and say whatever things they want, as long as you can say, explain to me how your story makes sense with this picture. We don't want them just going crazy and not being able to explain how this picture makes sense with that story. But let them use their imagination, their creativity. It's seriously so much fun. So once again, so they'll have a keyword outline for each of these pictures. I just have one, but they're going to do the exact same thing 3 times. So I just wanted to read. So then they're going to go through and they'll do the same thing: keyword outline, rough draft, final draft. And I want to read this out of the One Teacher book. I really like it. So I'm going to read this. It's called How to Think. What is thinking? Some folks assume that thinking is when you sit around and wait for an idea to pop into your brain. If that were true, many of us would be waiting a long time. Others imagine that the primary goal of thinking is being creative and doing something that no one else has done before. If that were true, many of us would give up before we even started. In its simplest manifestation, thinking is this: getting stuff out of your brain. Now, it's obvious that we can't get something out of our brain that isn't there to begin with, so don't even try. You can explain it to the students like this: if you want to think, in other words, get something out of your brain, just do what your mom does. Ask questions. Mothers are master question askers. Where have you been? Who else was there? Why are you late? And how are you going to clean this up? So teach your students to think kind of like a mom. Ask questions, be investigators, asking even themselves these questions and seeing what kind of answers they can come up with. Let your students have freedom in this area. It's so much fun.